Okay, so here we go. First thing I have to do, because I look at the two denominators, and if I circle them, they aren't identical. So that means in order for me to subtract them, I have to count the same size pieces. They aren't the same size. So I need to first find the LCD. So Dem 1 is x squared minus 16. By the way, some of you might be able to look at it already and say what the LCD is. And that's going to be very common. Well, we know that x squared minus 16 is x minus 4, x plus 4. So if I'm going to go after the LCD, I need an x minus 4, x plus 4. That's in there. And then I need an x plus 4. That's already there. So x minus 4, x plus 4 is the LCD. Good news is, if I take a look at my original problem, this guy already is the LCD. So this is going to be 8x over the LCD, subtract. Now I need to put x plus 4 over the LCD, which is x squared minus 16. So I take 5 over x plus 4. I need to make the denominator x minus 4, x plus 4. By the way, I'm going through a lot of work here, and it's not that necessarily you have to work it the way I do, but most of the stuff I'm putting in here as an explanation more than anything else as to why did I choose to write stuff the way I wrote it. Not necessarily the way I would directly work the problem. I've already got an x plus 4. I'm missing an x minus 4. So I'm going to multiply by x minus 4. So this becomes 5 times x minus 4. And I'm just going to leave him alone. I can multiply him out, but it's going to make life a little nicer. So that means that 5 over x plus 4, the equivalent fraction with the appropriate LCD, is 5 times x minus 4. Now I'm going to be counting the same thing. So that says that over the LCD, I'm going to have 8x subtract 5 times x minus 4. And that's why I didn't multiply it out, because of that subtraction sign. That minus 5 will multiply through and change all the signs. So this then becomes 8x subtract 5x add 4, add 20, all over the LCD. Or 8x minus 5x is 3x plus 20 over the LCD, which is x minus 4 times x plus 4. And notice, again, this is a grouping. So unless I can factor it into an x minus 4 or an x plus 4, I'm done. That's the best I can do. And once again, we say, yippee. Yes?
For the least common denominator, does it matter whether or not we revert it back to the x squared minus 16?
No. And the reason why I normally do not, because it's usually as part of a process, and when you get down to the next step, you're going to need it in factored form.
Okay.
But as far as what we're doing, it doesn't matter if you want to multiply it out, that would be fine.
Okay.
But there are times that you just don't want to multiply it out.
Right. No, I
It'd be just too much work.
Something like that,
Yeah.
you can look at it.
Sure.
It is.
Absolutely. I don't have a problem with that. Find the LCD, because I notice No matter how you look at it, these two things are not the same. So dem 1 is x squared plus 3x minus 10, and dem 2 is just x minus 2. So I'm going to move this over here and do my work. This factors into x minus 2, x plus 5, and x minus 2. So if you take a look at it, the LCD is just x minus 2, that's this guy, and x plus 5. So the first fraction is the LCD. So that means I can write this guy as x squared minus 39. This is the LCD. Minus, and then that's going to need to be put over the LCD. Which means I'm going to take 10 over x minus 2. This is going to have to be an x minus 2 and an x plus 5. So I'm going to multiply by x plus 5 because that's what it's missing. Again, because I've got a subtraction in between, I'm going to leave the 10 alone. I'm not going to multiply it out. So that's what's going to come over here. So now these two things are the same. Over the LCD, which I'll write in the end, just too much work to write all of these parentheses. I'll have x squared minus 39 minus 10 times x plus 5. Notice I don't try to multiply it out in my head because otherwise, guaranteed I'll drop a sign. I just will. Probably 50% of the time. I mean, it just... So this is x squared minus 39. Minus 10 times x is minus 10x. Minus 10 times plus 5 is minus 50. All over the LCD. Which is x squared minus 10x minus 89. And the LCD is x minus 2, x plus 5. 2 does not divide 89.
It doesn't factor. I tried it up to 90.
And 5 doesn't divide 89. So it's like, if it doesn't go into an x minus 2 or an x plus 5, why bother? So that's why I check that last number, because that's what's going to have to be the last number in the set of parentheses. 2 doesn't divide 89, and 5 doesn't divide 89. So at that point, I am done. Put a fork in her.